Keys to victory for Alexander Usyk against Tyson Fury. Number 1, be first. Now, Tyson Fury likes to feint a lot, and one of the best things you can do against the guy who feints a lot is to feint back. One of the main reasons that fighters feint is to keep you on edge, and therefore reduce your offense. By feinting back at him, you may be able to reduce his offense as well, depending on how concerned he is about your firepower. But this scenario can sometimes descend into a feinting match, where both guys are afraid to throw anything. And then it's a matter of who can hold their concentration, hold their composure, and hold their shape the longest. Normally, the slower, less agile, less coordinated guy is the one to lose their shape first, and therefore get hit first. And in this case, that will be Tyson Fury. However, when you've got a lot of slow rounds in a fight where neither man is landing much, the scoring gets very subjective. And if, as some have suggested, the organizers of this event would prefer a Fury win over an Usyk win, then the judges might feel pressured to give the close rounds to Tyson Fury, especially if he's doing a load of showboating, because that helps to convince the judges and the crowd that he's in control even when he's not landing anything. In which case, by the time Tyson Fury loses his shape and Usyk starts winning some rounds clearly, the judges might have Fury in a big lead. So I think Usyk might need to force the issue and start leading off fairly early in the fight if Fury wants to have a feinting match. And he probably will do that because that's his bread and butter. Usyk typically does feint a lot, but he's very high volume, so he punches off those feints. He's not normally shy to lead off. Number 2, protect your body. This is probably the most obvious thing, given what happened in the Daniel Dubois fight. He needs to watch out for the body shots, especially when he's on the front foot trying to close the distance. When Tyson Fury's got an opponent coming at him, he likes to whip uppercuts in to head and body. So Usyk will have to watch out for those. But at the same time, he can't be so wary of them that he becomes hesitant. Usyk likes to outwork his opponents, and he tends to throw a lot more punches than Fury does per round. And that is where his advantage lies. He can't allow Tyson Fury to slow down his punch output. Now, after Usyk got off the floor against Daniel Dubois, it didn't make him hesitant at all. It actually made him even more aggressive. And yet he was still able to avoid getting hit in the body from there on in. So he does have the mindset necessary to make the defensive adjustments while maintaining a high punch output. Number 3, Southpaw sparring. This is something he needs to have taken care of in the gym, obviously. Usyk hasn't fought a southpaw in nearly 8 years. And Tyson Fury does like to switch hit, so if he hasn't had enough southpaw sparring, he might get thrown off during the fight, which would obviously be to Fury's advantage. Whichever stance Fury's in, Usyk needs to be stepping away from his backhand. So if Fury's orthodox, Usyk needs to be stepping to his own right. If he's southpaw, he needs to be stepping to his own left. Number 4, don't fight at Fury's pace. This is applicable whether Fury decides to box on the front foot or on the back foot. If Fury's being aggressive, every time he launches a big attack, his punch output is going to go down for several seconds afterwards while he gets his wind back. He might feint or showboat or shout at you to buy himself some time to make you think he's ready to go again, but it's actually a bluff. He's trying to rest. Usyk needs to recognize that, step in, and attack him right away. If Usyk can keep his punch output as high as it normally is, and doesn't allow Fury to clinch him, then it's going to be very difficult for the Gypsy King to win this fight, and Fury knows it. So he'll be looking to try and reduce Usyk's punch output in any way he can, with feints, with aggression, leaning on him in the clinches to tire him out, body shots, whatever it takes. Usyk can't allow him to do that. He needs to keep the work rate as high as normal, and that may involve taking risks. And of course, Usyk has been in with much sharper counterpunches than Tyson Fury in the past, so he shouldn't really be worried about doing that. Number 5, avoid clinches. Being the much bigger man, clinches obviously favor Tyson Fury. He could lean on Usyk, maul him, and tire him out. So how does Usyk avoid them? Well, he does it by staying alert and light on his feet, even up close. Always being ready to either step back or roll under Fury's outstretched arms and step to the side. And it's generally more difficult to clinch southpaws anyway, from an orthodox stance at least, because the lead hands and the lead feet are clashing. So getting a grip of them tends to be more awkward. Number 6, time Fury's lunges. Now, this is partly related to the last one, but Tyson Fury has this habit of lunging in to clinch his opponents from quite far out. Teddy Atlas actually spotted this a while back and mentioned it after the Dillian Whyte fight. He said no one's ever punished him for it yet, but there's an opportunity there. Well, Otto Wallin didn't catch Tyson Fury lunging in, but he did catch him with his hands down when he was attempting to clinch. That's how he cut his eye. Ngannou tried to catch Fury lunging into clinch, but he weren't fast enough to get him. Alexander Usyk absolutely is fast enough to get him, and he has great lateral movement. He's very good at sidestepping an on-rushing opponent, then walking them onto shots. So if his team have been smart in camp, they will have planned for that scenario, to catch Tyson Fury in the act of lunging in to clinch. And the reason Fury does that is not just to break up the offense and the momentum of his opponent, and it's not just to try and wear the opponent down, but very often he does it because he needs a rest. And the clue for that is in the fact that he often does it at completely random moments. Normally, a fighter will clinch when his opponent gets too close or when he's trying to let his hands go. But with Tyson Fury, you'll often see him lunging into clinch when his opponent's nowhere near him and when there's nothing going on. That's because he's trying to grab a rest. He doesn't have the legs to move non-stop for every single round anymore. So he'll lunge into clinch at these random moments, and it's quite sloppy. If Usyk can catch him doing that, even if he doesn't hurt him or cut him, he'll at least discourage him from doing it too often, and therefore prevent him from resting. Number 7, don't neglect the body. When you're fighting a guy who wants to slow you down to his pace by hitting you with body shots, you can preempt that with body shots of your own. And early on when Tyson Fury's at his sharpest, if the head ain't there, hit the chest, hit his stomach, hit his shoulders. It all takes its toll later on. Usyk's body shots are usually a right jab or a straight left hand thrown from the outside. He's more accurate with those types of shots than Tyson Fury is, and he's faster. So take some chances early on. Give him a couple feints to get a reaction, then stick a left hand to the body and be consistent with it. He thinks he's going to take your legs away. Well, beat him to it. Take his legs away. Those are my keys to victory for Alexander Usyk. Stay tuned for my keys to victory for Tyson Fury. And also don't forget to subscribe for more boxing news, reviews, and analysis. Thanks for watching. Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.